Hello students, I hope you all are fine. So today we are going to do the class 9 science and the chapter number 5, that is the fundamental unit of life, and today it is my second video on this chapter. So students, in my first video I have explained you about that cell is the basic structural and fundamental unit of life, and Robert Hooke discovered cell in year 1665, and after that I have explained you about unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. So today we will start with the cell theory. So students, now we know about the cell, and there were the two scientists, Schleiden and Swan, and Schleiden was the botanist. And who are the botanists? What are the botanists? Those they study about the plants. And Swan was the zoologist. So Schleiden studied about the plant cell, and he told that all the plants are made up of cell. And after that, Swan was the zoologist. So he told that all the animals are made up of cells. So from their conclusion, we get that the cell theory that says that all the living organisms, plants, animals, all are made up of cells. All are made up of cell. And further, there was one more scientist whose name was Virchow. He explained that all the cells comes from the pre-existing cells. That means if there is a cell, one cell, then the new cell will form from this cell only. The cell that is already existing, the cell that is already present, that we call the pre-existing cells. And the new cells will come from the pre-existing cells only. So what was the cell theory? First point of the cell theory says that all the living organisms are made up of cell. And what is the second point of cell theory? Second point of the cell theory says that all the new cells comes from the pre-existing cells. So students, that was the cell theory. So now our topic is division of labor. Right. So as we are human beings and we are multicellular organisms, we have number of organs and we have the number of cells also. Now let's see some of the names of the cells. We have more than 200 types of the cells, but I'll tell you some of the names here. For example, sperm, leukocytes. Leukocytes are also known as white blood cells. Osteocyte. Osteocyte means bone cell. And we have muscle cell also. We have nerve cell also. So there are some of the names of the cell. Now this is due to the fact that there is a division of labor within the multicellular organism, for example human beings. Now let us understand with the example. So in human beings we have different organs. For example, we have heart to pump the blood, stomach to digest the food, skeleton muscles to perform the movement and locomotion, and that means we have different parts or organs to perform the different work. Same like as we have the organs, we have the different cells to perform the different functions. Right? For example, there are the cells, cardiac cells, which are present in heart, and there are the mucous cells present in the stomach that secretes the mucus, and so on. So like the human body, the cell itself has the division of labor. That means in the cell only it also has the division of labor. That means the work is divided in the cell only. In fact, every cell has the certain specific components within it known as cell organelle. So when we talk about the cell, then every cell there are the components, and that components we call them cell organelles. What we call them? We call them cell organelles, and these cell organelles perform the specific functions. For example, each kind of cell organelle performs a special function. Now let's see the examples. Making of new material in the cell, such as protein synthesis. So in the cell there is the organelle whose name is ribosome. So ribosome is the organelle present in the cell, and this ribosome has the special function, that means it makes the material for the cell, such as protein. So ribosome is the component of the cell that performs the function of synthesis of the protein, and ribosome is the cell organelle. After that, food is synthesized by chloroplast. Now this chloroplast is the another cell organelle, and this cell organelle performs the function of food synthesis. Now, clearing up the waste substance from the cell, there is the another component, that is lysosome. Lysosome is the another cell organelle, right? And what is the function of lysosome? Lysosome will clean your cell. How? It will clean your cell by clearing up the waste substances present in your cell, etc. So what we have seen from there? We have seen that a cell is able to live and perform its function because of these organelles. Because organelles are present in the cell and organelles are performing the specific functions. That's why the cell is able to live. Now, these organelles together constitute the basic building blocks called cell, and together actually these organelles will make the cell. Now, all cells are designed to have the same basic structure. So all the cells have almost the same basic structure, no matter what their function is, what is the function of the cell, or what organism they are found in, and in which organism they are found. So all the cells have almost the same basic structure, right? So that was about the division of work. As we have seen that in our body different organs perform the different functions and different cells perform the different functions. Same in the cell, there are the different components that performs the different functions, and together these functions performed by the different components makes the cell live, right? And we call them, such kind of components, we call them cell organelles. Now students, let's go ahead. So the shape and the size of cells are related to the specific function they perform. That means cell is not having always, all the cells do not have the same shape and the same size, right? Actually their shape and the size are different because they are performing the different functions. So according to the functions they have the shape and the size. For example, some cells like amoeba have changing shape. What we all know about the amoeba. Amoeba can change its shape, and in some cases the cell shape could be more or less fixed and peculiar for a particular type of cell. For example, nerve cell. And nerve cell has a very typical shape. I'll show you the nerve cell here. So students, here it is the nerve cell. See what is the shape of the nerve cell. And here are the some cells with their shape, right? So there is the large number of variety of cells, their shape also and their structure also. The size of the cells also varies, and some of the plants and animal cells are visible with the naked eyes, but most of the cells can be viewed with the help of microscope only. And the size of the cells also varies, and cells can be small as bacteria, and it can be large as the egg of the ostrich, which is 80 centimeter, and it can be multicellular, largest cell in plant like cycas. So here is the ostrich egg. So that's all about the today's class. I hope students the content is clear to you. Now let's check out our knowledge by looking some questions. So here are the questions. Question number 1, what is cell theory? And question number 2, what are the organelles? And question number 3, name the largest animal and plant cells. That's all about today's class. Very soon I'll come with the new content. Till then, all of you take care and bye bye.